because when you had written your form, you had said your interview was in Korean.
Yeah.
So in those 9 months, did you like what level of Korean do you think you got to?
So basically, and people always hate it when I say this, but like, because I never was a fan of school, as I said, in high school, I was just making money, and then I never went to college. I'm not the best student.
Yeah.
I'm not the best student, but I think I'm okay at languages. Like I have
Yeah.
a slight aptitude for learning languages. So I kind of slacked off when I was at Sogang, to be honest. Like I still learned a lot. I had one teacher who was really good, and he really helped me get ahead. But I don't know why. Like a lot of people say the opposite. At Sogang, your speaking gets really good.
Yeah.
But I was the opposite. My writing was amazing, but my speaking was not the best.
Oh.
And I guess I don't know. I just struggle with it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still by far my weakest skill in Korean.
Yeah.
Like I would rather write a page in Korean than have to like talk for
speak
2
it,
minutes
yeah.
in front of a bunch of people.
Oh,
So
wow, okay.
yeah, but yeah. So I got up to level 3, and I finished it, and that's when I ran out of money. And then so when I was like, okay, I gotta find a job. So when I actually first got into the first company, my Korean was like pretty shaky. Like it was really basic to the point where I could kind of communicate, because I was working in a part with a bunch of English speakers, and there was one person who was a Kyopo, like from America.
Yeah.
So that was okay. I got by, but I noticed very quickly that it bothers me if I feel like I'm an inconvenience to other people. So that's when I started to try to push myself to learn Korean a lot faster.
Yeah.
And I realized very quickly that the best way for me to do that is to just drink with Koreans. That sounds weird, but that's what worked for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
In what way? Like what do you mean by the best way for you to learn was?
Because I would just I would try to get myself into situations, and I still do this today, where I know that there's no one who can speak English, and I can't really fall back on English. And because I noticed that, like, living in Switzerland and living in Korea, if you make a friend and you start off right off the bat with English with them, you're always going to use English with that person. It's not, you're never gonna use their language, right? Because you're just going to set that standard. And I mean, it's the same thing with like romantic partners. I find like
That's true.
Me and my boyfriends, we talk in English because that's what we started. If we talk in Korean now, it's super weird. We could do it, but we just
It
don't.
just feels awkward.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I forced myself to be in situations where I was like, okay, I'm going to be with a bunch of Koreans. And nobody's going to be using English, and I am forced to use Korean. And if there's alcohol, I won't be thinking before I talk, so I'll just talk naturally.
It's gonna be comfortable, yeah.
And that helped me. It was like an icebreaker. Like I'm not talking to the point where I would get like completely wasted, but like, you know, just a lot of people know that feeling. You feel more relaxed, and you feel more like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna talk. And another thing I will say is that through my company, my current company especially, I met so many amazing Korean friends who were so patient with me. And like some of them have been my friends for the full 5 years. And so of course back then my Korean of course was not as good as now. So, but they were still really patient. Like I remember one time I went to sort of like a gathering of like people from different departments. This is a big company, and I just wanted to meet new people. And we were at an izakaya, and there were I think 12 or 13 people there. So it was quite intimidating for me. I was like, oh my gosh, like there's just a lot of people, and they're talking very fast in Korean.
Yeah.
But one of my friends, he's still a close friend today, he really took the time to make sure I was included in the conversation. So like he'd be like, they'd be talking really fast, and then he kind of like, oh, hey guys, let's ask Lauren what she thinks about this. Or, oh, I think Lauren's probably been to Germany, you know? And then like, oh, do you like, what can you contribute to the conversation?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what a great guy, honestly, like still.
That's very sweet to want to include you.
Finding those kind of friends is like that really helped for me learning the language really quickly, because then I never felt like awkward or like I was and then like if I did say something stupid, they just laugh it off and be like, oh, that was cute, you know,
They don't judge you for it.
So like really amazing. And that's when I really like made fast progress with Korean. I found like I guess I'm just not the type of person who likes to study.
Girl, you're not I'm also not my Korean was learning from a book for me didn't work. For me it was dramas that helped.
Oh, dramas,
Korean
okay. Dramas, yeah.
And also I started living in Korea, so I had to speak to Koreans. That helped a lot too.
Yeah, that'll help. Yeah, definitely. I mean, just interacting with the locals, I think is key 90% of the time. Even if you're a fan of K-pop or dramas, like you can learn from those, but I think at some point you'll probably plateau a little bit. Because you gotta put yourself
talk back to K-pop or K-drama.
Yeah, you gotta put yourself in real life situations and then figure out like how do I navigate this. And even if you don't know a certain word, you find ways to kind of explain what you're trying to say. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that. I mean, that's what worked best for me. Other people, they learn really well from just books memorization or whatever.
Oh,
But
cha, I can't.
I can't do that. My roommate, when I was going to Sogang, he was Chinese.
Yeah.
This man he was just like, he'd pick up a book, read it. Okay, I know everything. And then he would just pass the test and I'd be like, excuse me, what?
And you're there struggling, like, I don't, what? Yeah.
He was incredible.
It's
Like
probably like a language sponge.
he's
everything
he's just a smart guy too. And he already could speak English and stuff. So he was like, he had that benefit. But yeah, some people are incredible with their aptitude to learn languages. Like I don't think I'm bad, but I don't think I know some people who are like native in Korean and I'm just like, how did you even get there?
Dang. And they're not Korean, right?
Yeah, but to be fair, I think it also depends what age you come here.
Oh, true.
Because,
If
like-
you're younger, you're more adept to like. That's correct English, right? I think that's correct.
I think so. I think like we've lived here too long, we're forgetting English. That's the problem.
And I also know 4 languages, so it's just a lot of
Oh,
mixes going on.
wow.
But you're just a sponge when you're younger. You're just taking
Yeah.
everything in. But the older you get, the harder it gets, y'all.
Yeah, they
It
say
gets harder.
something like your neural pathways are already set by like age, I don't know, 20 or something. So it's
Yeah.
like if you try it after that, you're gonna
Way
be
harder.
struggling.
You're gonna struggle. Yeah, I see like little kids like speaking like 4 languages, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense because you're a child and you
Yeah.
can pick everything up.
Yeah, and they don't have an
Yeah.
accent too and all that stuff. Like that's kind of crazy. Yeah. And for me, like I started learning Korean when I was like 30. Like I started from 0 and and then I had always like thought cuz I learned German quite easily. Like I got fluent pretty quick and I was just like whatever. It's not that hard. And then when I started to learn Korean at age 30, I was like okay, this might be more of an undertaking than I thought. So, but
And it's such a different language. The writing is different.
it's
The grammar is different.
And
They speak back to front. Like it's just like crazy.
right, yeah, everything's different, and also like the culture, and it's such a high context language that like it can be hard. That's why I say like putting yourself in real life situations is important because like those high context cues you can kind of get them from watching dramas, but you're not there. You know,
That's-
and the Koreans have that word nunchi, like
Yeah.
reading the social situation, reading the room, kind
Yeah.
of. You can't do that unless you're actually in the room. So that's something that I get a lot of compliments from my Korean coworkers. So they're like, "Oh Lord, you have so much nunchi," and I'm just like,
I learned.
"Thanks, I'm just copying you guys. I just do what you do." That's
I see you guys doing it, so I'm doing it too. Yeah.
I think but I think that helps. I mean, I'm not trying to make it sound frivolous either. Like just say, okay, just copy what other people do. Like obviously still be yourself and but you still have to kind of emulate, the locals wherever you are if you want to get an understanding of how they live, I think. Yeah, and that doesn't have anything to do with appropriation or it's not trivializing, anyone's culture. It's
Yeah.
just you have to get into it to understand it, I think so.
That's
yeah.
true. I believe the same thing. Let's go into you now working in this company, right? How was it working for the gaming company?